And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Chase Race number 8 of the Season 5 Snickers Cup Series, as we are here to finish off what's been an exciting race weekend here at Iowa Speedway. Getting ready for the running of the Viagra 300. If you're wondering why it's named that, well, because of who we got here in the commentator's booth, Mr. Viagra himself, Shawn Henley, pulling double duty, joining us for the Snickers Cup Series event today.
Holy crap, I didn't even know it was the Viagra 300. Wow, that's awesome. But anyways, welcome here to Iowa. So, yeah, great to be here today. Again,
yes. So we had an exciting Mobile One Cup Series race where it ended up being the guy who came in second in points ended up winning the race. Do you think we're going to see something similar here today with drivers who are battling for the championship heading into our last two races of the season? That they'll be the ones up at the front, or will we see some sleepers maybe come up at the end?
Well, we really saw in the Mobile One Cup Series race that it doesn't really matter where you start, because we saw at the beginning of the race, relatively towards the beginning of the race anyways, at the front row and like the first two rows of the grid did not really do well. So that could be a key factor here today. But we'll just have to wait and see, because this track, the first two races, has just been unpredictable. So that's really, it's just we have to play the weight game.
Well, coming into today's race, Adam Chambers comes in with only an 8-point advantage over Shawn Henley, and then it's a total of 25 points back before we get to Aaron Williams Jr. So it would seem that the battle for the points lead today is definitely just going to be between those two drivers, Chambers and Henley, who are both former Snickers Cup Series champs.
Well, Aaron Williams Jr. is definitely going to need something good happening to him today. He's going to need Chambers and Henley to probably wreck out, and then he probably have to at least finish in the top 5. But we have seen crazier things before happen, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, Jake Cole, Pichu London, Michael Waltrip Racing holds the front row for this event, and as we said before, as you said before, with the front row in the Mobile Cup Series race not doing so well, those two will be interesting to see if they'll be able to maybe reverse the jinx we saw yesterday. Mary Cole's going to line up in third. She's pretty much done from the championship hunt. She is way back in 12th, but just trying to salvage whatever she can, maybe pick up a win this season. And then Danny Wells lines up in fourth, first chaser that may still mathematically be in contention, even though he is a total, I think, of 69 points back. 69 points back. That's Dylan Poteet, and he's going to roll off from 5th place, so definitely needs a good run today to keep himself in contention. What do you think? We're going to see maybe somebody like Poteet or McLeod or Anthony McCurry, who's 8th through 10th in points, all of a sudden jump up into the championship picture, because we saw a lot of drivers who were around that area in Mobile Cup Series do that yesterday.
Well, maybe if John Cittadino, if he can get back-to-back wins, that will really boost his confidence. Pretty sure this would be, if he were to win today, that'd be his second straight win in a row, hopefully.
That
right?
is true. Yep, you are correct.
Aha, I was right. We could possibly be seeing that. Maybe Cole Daly could sneak up there and maybe get back into the picture, or maybe Aaron Williams Jr. I mean, like I said, just wait and see.
And of course, we're going to... Yeah, so of course we're going to keep an eye on John Cittadino too. As you mentioned, last week's winner, he set a historical mark last week, being the first ever 4-time winner in a single season, and there's still a few races left where he could end up being 5, 6, even a 7-time winner this season if he could pick up 3 more victories.
Oh boy, that'd be a pretty dominating rookie season to tell for that. So that'd be insane if he could end up doing that. But let's see.
Yes, we will, as we're getting ready to go under the green flag. The command to fire the engines has been given, so these cars will roll off. It'll be interesting to see, too, if at Iowa, if consistency is going to be able to happen. We saw a lot of drivers in the Mobile Cup Series have good finishes. They've got Snickers Cup Series rise today, like Trent Dunham, Sean Gallagher. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to be able to use the momentum of the good finishes they had yesterday and use them here today for good finishes. Here is your starting lineup. Getting ready to go under the green flag. We saw a lot of pit strategy play out in our Mobile Cup Series race. We'll see if the same will be done today as the green flag is out here in the Viagra 300.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're racing in the land of corn.
And it's going to be interesting to see, too, if these drivers may have learned anything from the Mobile Cup Series race. Not so sure, though, especially with the Chasers, knowing that a championship's on the line. They're going to be going to two tracks that a lot of people consider their wild card tracks, Talladeggans and Joltas.
Yeah, and this is a very technical track as well. I mean, they have had time to look at the Trucks and Mobile 1 races and see what mistakes they made. As I see yellow lights out, so I think the caution's out.
Yes, it is, but I did see Jake Cole actually get off that corner really well. A lot better than they did in the Moment Cup Series race. And, oh, Mary Cole gets the wall and Poteet. Just like that, he's going to be the leader under caution.
And that's a very peculiar spot as well as turn 4. So that's where you can really make your record day, and turn 2, as we've seen in the first 2 races of the weekend.
And I think that caution may have come out over in turn 1. I thought I saw smoke there, and might have involved the...
Oh, Vitus Votas in 18,
yes,
maybe?
I think so. And maybe his teammate, Hayden Klein, 7th in the championship points.
Oh, that's definitely going to be a heartbreaker there for that 11 team. I mean, they really need a good run here to get back in the hunt of the thick of things, so that might have just dashed their hopes for today.
Two-time winner Rohit Vidarvu may have also gotten a piece of that as well, but we do know for certain 2 cars on pit road, Hayden Klein and Vitus Votas. Caution waves for the first time today. Dylan Poteet's the leader. We got to look back now at a replay.
Woo.
Well, this was coming off of 4 after completing the first lap, and oh, it looks like the 27 just kind of went up into the 17 to Cole Daly, and down they come into the 11.
He didn't really like that, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to spin you down into the 11 car and screw out Hayden Klein right there. So that was a tough break for especially that 11 car.
And
he goes right back up into his own teammate there, and bam.
Wow, Sosnowski got a piece of it too, although he kind of just skimmed the outside retaining wall with the right side, but did a pretty good job avoiding the 27 come back up on the racetrack. But yeah, Rohit Vidarvu, I mean, Hayden Klein, or not Hayden Klein, Cole Daly rather, was right up against the outside retaining wall, so he couldn't have given the 27 any more room.
I mean, it is very, we haven't really seen very many incidents in turn 1, so this is the first time for the weekend, so.
That's true. And amazingly enough, on this green flag run, we ended up getting away with only a 3, maybe 4 car incident, so that's That's
a good sign.
That's kind of a good sign. We hope that that's going to continue to be that trend if indeed we have more cautions, which I'm sure we will. But as we said, tough break there for Hayden Klein. This, if he's not able to continue, may take him completely out of the championship picture.
Yep, tough day so at the beginning here for that 11 team.
Let's go back now to the restart as Dylan Poteet is the current leader. Getting ready to go back under the green flag. Dylan Poteet, as we mentioned, he's the leader. Eric Burton now has moved up to 2nd. Mary Cole in 3rd. The pole sitter Jake Cole is back in 4th. And Jeffrey Buckeye now has moved his way up to 5th. Then it's DeMarco, Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Young, Madison Sieber, and George Roque, the top 10. Not many chasers up here in the top 10 right now. The only ones that are up there are Dylan Poteet and Mary Cole.
I mean, they're having a good start to the race so far. I mean, this track's not going to do any of the chasers that are like high up in the standings any favors, so they're going to have to earn it if they want to keep their positions up in the points, I guess.
Let's see where Chambers is going to restart. He's going to restart in 26th place.
Shawn
Henley, who is only 8 points behind him, he's going to restart in 20th. So right now, Henley's only 2 points back from Adam Chambers in the current live standings as we're back to green flag racing.
Oh yeah.
And we definitely know that at restrictor plate tracks that a lot of times you can see drivers really bunch up in points. Here at Iowa, what do you think? Is this a track where the points are going to spread out or the points are going to close up really, really tight?
Well, it could go either way, really. I mean, like I've said 8,000 times so far today, well, it's just a wait and see game, I guess. I mean, it's just been a bit of a wild card factor in both trucks and mobiles, so that's pretty much my input on that. Pote continues to lead.
And Mary Cole just dove for pit road. She'll
Oh,
be the first one to actually make pit stops here today.
and that's something we saw in both of the, or in the Mobile 1 race at least, the one I was co-commentating. We saw some drivers come down and pit on different sequences. So, yeah.
P2 London, Charles Jackson, Danny Wells, Callum Wales, Mason, Johnson, Cole Daly, Sosnowski, they were all coming down pit road. And we're still green flag racing
here.
Eric Burton goes for the lead.
Oh, yeah, he's got that lead solidly going into 1 and 2. Now Pote's trying to fight back there to get that lead back.
I'm relatively surprised here that they've been able to keep it green. I mean, this is definitely different from what we had in our Mobile Cup Series race, where it seemed like it was a miracle if we could turn at least one green flag lap. These guys, they've been able to keep it clean and green now for 4 laps and still putting on a good show, so it almost bears the question. We saw a lot of pit strategy under caution in the Mobile Cup Series race. Are these guys going to have to really work on maybe green flag run pit stop strategy?
It could very easily go that way as Pote just slammed the wall from 2 and he fell
smoke
back
on the front straightaway. Caution's out.
And just as we said, there goes the caution, so we just jinxed that.
And I'll tell you, this is not going to be good for those drivers who did pit under that green flag run if they did not get out ahead of the leader, because that's going to put them a lap down. Unless they can get the wave around, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And start in front of the leader.
Now, we did see some drivers actually stay out during these caution flags and end up having to come pit later on, so...
And here come the leaders that did not pit yet. They are going to come down and make pit stops. And I was looking through the entire field. I don't have a clue who it was that brought that caution out. Just about every driver in this field has some damage to the right side after hitting the wall off in 4, so don't know who it was that did that spin.
Yep.
Eric Burton pulling into his pit stall there. And he comes into this race 34th in points, so a win today would definitely help him out in the standings.
No question about that. I mean, we're really racing all for nothing here, so just go out there, have as much fun you can, and see if you can pull out a W. As he gets out first off pit road.
Yes, he did. He beats out Alex DeMarco, and all these guys up ahead of him there. I think these drivers now are going to be on the tail end of the lead lap when we go back to green, so... Oh, looks like a few of them actually going to pit here. I'm not sure if I would really agree with this strategy. I mean, they were on the tail end of the lead lap now. Now they're going to make a pit stop and fall a lap down again? I'm not sure where the sense is in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see Mary Cole. She's coming down to pit again, so...
And there's Henley. He was in 9th.
Weird.
I think he's still on the lead lap, and he's pitting 1 lap later, so some interesting strategy there by the guy who comes in 2nd in points.
Interesting strategies by a lot of other drivers, too. I mean, this could either put them a lap down or... I don't even know what it could do.
I don't know either. I mean, we did see that they did go under a pretty good green flag run there. Maybe Henley and a few others that are on the lead lap that pitted there 1 lap later, maybe thinking this thing could go clean and green to the end, and they want to have that little bit of extra insurance in the fuel tank.
It just so happens that it might.
12th place is where Chambers, the points leader, is currently running as our leader under the caution. I believe it's still going to be Eric Burton. Yes, it is. Going to have some cars up ahead of him. But before we go back to green, we still got to find out what that spin was on the front straightaway and who it even was for our second caution of the day. Here's a look at it. Our winner from 2 weeks ago at Lime Rock, Tim Walsh, James Silverfox, and the points leader, Adam Chambers, are the reason this caution came out. We've seen this all week long. Cars crowding each other off 4.
Absolutely, and that was just a sandwich job right there by James Silverfox into Tim Walsh. So.
And I thought that Chambers got a piece of it. Apparently he didn't, but Barney Ward gets a little tap there.
Chambers just escaped on the skin of his teeth there, so lucky boy.
Yeah, he nearly got clipped there in the right rear off of James Silverfox, but... That right there is why we didn't exactly know who the caution came out for, because Tim Walsh turned the car around, continued on, and so really it was very difficult to determine who that caution came out for. But when you think about it, seeing that hit those two took, they got away with relatively minimal damage.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't think they even got any damage at all, except for a little bit of side damage on that 56. So they were pretty lucky there.
Yeah, a little side damage, and how significant is that? Just about every driver has side damage by sliding off of
Yeah.
turn 4 and getting the walls, so Tim Walsh, James Silverfox, they may have very well dodged a bullet right there, but they did bring out our second caution. Pit stops have definitely jumbled the field up. We're going to have to settle it all out as we go back to green. Getting ready to go back under the green flag, and we got loads of lap cars on the inside line being led by Charles Jackson. And then it's, let's see, who else is a lap down? Mary Cole, Zach Campbell, James McLeod, Cole Daly, Derek Reed, Anthony McCurry, Matthew Rodriguez, Aaron Williams Jr., third in the points. He is now a lap down, along with our Melbourne Cup Series winner Galligan, Callum Wales, Jeffrey Buckeye, Danica Shirley, Danny Wells, Trent Dunham, John Cittadino, our winner last week, Pichu London, Ralph Mason. They are all one lap down. Then 2 laps down are the cars of Emilio Navrat, Richard Johnson, Rohit Vedarabu. Kyle Sosnowski is 3 laps down, and 2 drivers out of the race, Hayden Klein and Waidos Avotas. So we're here on lap 15 of 38, and only 18 cars are on the lead lap here.
That caution really just threw a loophole into all of this, and this is going to be kind of hectic here. So hit the deck.
And this is going to be interesting too, because remember, a lot of these cars that are on the inside line a lap down, they are not damaged. So you see Eric Burns already having trouble. He's lost lots of ground there. Jackson, Dunham, Cittadino, they've all gotten by, and Eric Burton is losing a lot of ground.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of grip there on the line that he's running, so that is obviously a reason why he is losing so many positions here.
Whoa. George Rope there, and Richard Johnson, close call, and Kyle Sosnowski, careful, that was close.
Man, they are just racing like chicken with the head cut off here. Come on, guys.
Well, caution flag's out, and they're 4 wide, and there goes Ralph Mason. You kind of knew that was going to happen.
Oh, that was... wow.
He gets a hit from Jacob Lawler.
And
it looks
around
like
Galligan.
Galligan, Silver Fox. They may have been the caution. Oh, and maybe Aaron Williams
Danica.
Jr.
Oh, well, that is not good for him. Like I mentioned, they're in the points. That's gonna hurt.
And let me tell you some very happy people, and they are Danny Wells, Cittadino, Charles Jackson, Pichu London, Mary Cole, Rohit Vidar. I think they're back in the tail of the lead lap, and Jeffrey Buckeye, who was up inside the top 10 for the start of this race, he is badly damaged.
Yep. A lot of cars suffered a lot of damage after that, so that must have been a decent-sized wreck.
No doubt about it. And I believe after all that, even though he was passed by lots of lap cars, I think Eric Burton was still the leader. Well, maybe not anymore. He just lost the lead off pit road to George Rope. So the new leader is the 55.
It kind of froze for me, so yeah. It's kind of stuck on Cittadino and Danny and Charles, but...
Okay then, so we will quickly step aside, take a look at a replay so we can get the screen unstuck, as George Rope is the current leader here at halfway. And here's a look at what happened. This was off turn number 2, and I don't really know where the contact begins. Looks like Aaron Williams Jr. gets into Anthony McCurry and then turns him into Galligan.
Yeah, he just 24 clipped into the 61, and then Galligan and just had nowhere to go and went along for the ride.
And Aaron Williams Jr.
And then it looks like the 24 car doesn't have any damage, so he must have come back on the track, and then someone must have hit him or something like that.
I think you're right about that.
He doesn't have any damage at this point.
He's carrying quite a bit of speed into the corner. Up to 39. Callum Wales. And look at second in points, Shawn Henley. Just try and get through that. He made contact with Jake Rogers and nearly got collected in that.
That was a close call there for that 25 car, I can tell you that.
And here's Buckeye.
A tough break there for Aaron Williams.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're 4 wide.
Oh, 4 wide.
Oh, that's not good. Callum Wales into the wall and up into the catch
fence. Oh, my goodness. That is definitely... well.
Oh my goodness. Up into the catch
That
fence.
is a sight for all those crazy fans in the grandstands. Holy mackerel.
And you know, the
Wow.
unbelievable sight with that almost makes us lose fact of the sight that second in points Shawn Henley right there was caught up in this incident.
Well, his back-to-back chances could be numbered here today, and that 39 car is doing a barrel roll.
Jeffrey Buckeye, I think he actually had the 39 land right on top of his car.
Man,
Wow.
that was just a nasty incident there. Tough break there for Callum in the 39. Just took one heck of a ride.
Yes, he did. And it was, I think, a lot worse than the Barney Ward flip we saw in the Mullen Cup Series race.
Absolutely. I mean, he was up in the catch fence. Luckily, he did not go over that catch fence because we would have seen more bad stuff happen. But
Yeah, and he was close too.
thank goodness for those catch fences here at every track that we go to.
You are correct. That was really, really close. He got up, I think, to the extreme top of that catch fence, and so wild ride for Callum Wales, this is going to be his final season, so that's a tough break for him. Not the way I think he wanted to go out here at Iowa, and a tough break for Shawn Henley, too. Now all he's got to hope maybe is that Chambers is going to hit some problems here because he came in 8 points behind Adam Chambers in the standings, and we know that drivers behind him, like Aaron Williams Jr., Cole Daly, they've had some problems, so he's basically just got to hope now Chambers runs into some problems to keep the point standings tight for the championship.
Oh, yeah, I mean, second, third, and fourth right now just cannot catch a break, and that really proved it right there.
So we're under the caution for the third time here today. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing as we are now past the halfway point.
Barrel roll.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing, almost the way we started off this race with Michael Waltrip racing
Almost.
first and second, except it's the same pole sitter, but a different second place car in George Rowe. Jake Cole did a good job getting some strategy to work his way back to the front again.
Oh, absolutely. Pole sitter back to the front here in a split second, so.
Look at the top 10 here. Jake Cole the leader, George Rowe second, Eric Burton now back to third, Trent Whitney, nice run for him now in fourth, DeMarco fifth, and it's Madison Seaver sixth, Dylan Poteet seventh, eighth Austin Ogo, ninth is Dylan Young, and Barney Ward in 10th. Adam Chambers, the points leader, he's been able to survive. He's going to roll off from position number 11, and this is definitely something that he needs to have happen with Henley out and Aaron Williams Jr. currently a lap down.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is a huge, huge day for this 43 team. They can make a lot out of this. Hopefully they don't screw this thing up because that's just been the motto of the points contenders here today is screwing up. We go back to the green.
We are back to green. Jake Cole going to lead him back, and again, those lap down cars are up to speed, so they are really playing havoc with the lead lap.
Oh, no question about it. Those pit stops just really jumble things up there.
And Jake Cole's going to get the wall.
Look out.
And George Roke's going to peek underneath of him, so they're going to go 3 wide for the lead.
That's not a smart idea, especially going into turn 2. Watch out. Watch out. Oh.
Wow, they made that work.
Oh, I think caution's out.
Oh, caution's out.
Yep.
Somehow they made that work for the lead, though, and Eric Burton.
Oh, do not wreck coming to the line. Do not wreck.
They're all good.
My goodness, a 3x3.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How
Holy
they kept
cow.
that together, I'm not sure, and that just helped a few more drivers get back on the lead lap, and Danica Shirley, who I believe was
It's a tough
actually,
break.
I think she was one of those cars that got trapped a lap down. She is really mangled up.
Yes, indeed. She got some damage there on the front of her car and also on the side, too.
Let's see if anybody else
Somebody making a pit stop there. Oh, James Silverfox is involved.
I think he may have been just actually coming down pit road for a pit stop. I'm not sure. And George Rope is on pit road. He's the leader. Oh, looks like we're having some pit stops here under
More
this
pit
caution.
stops here.
Let's jump to our pit road camera. Dylan Poteet pulling into his pit stall. Let's see if anybody's staying out. And it looks like everybody that stayed out was a lap down. And George Roke is already away.
A fast pit stop there for that 55 team. They got out pretty quick.
They did. I almost wonder if they only went maybe with a 2-tire stop that time.
It might have there. That could be crucial.
And looks like the lap down cars now will be making some pit stops. While they do that, we will take a look at a replay of what happened to Danica Shirley in the 88. This was a battle somewhere around 24th position, and
Cat fight!
Mary Cole and Danica Shirley, two female rookies getting into it off turn 4.
And that was just, what are the odds of that happening? And then Mary is just going to hit her right there on the side, and then eventually the 88 car is going to go flipping here.
Eventually. Pushing the 88 all the way down the front straightaway.
I'm surprised the 88 didn't flip earlier than that. That was kind of strange, but oh well. And then 88 took a wild ride.
And boy, that was quite unusual too. I mean, normally we see drivers flip over, they get T-boned or something, but Danica literally just got flipped.
Yes, she did. By the fellow female Mary Cole.
So maybe a little female rivalry brewing or something. I don't know.
It quite possibly could happen.
But Danica, a flipping Danica, brings out the caution once again, and we're getting ready for yet another restart.
Woo!
After pit stops, George Roque is the leader. He had that really fast pit stop that keeps him out in front. Dylan Poteet's now moved his way up to second. Eric Burton third. Tim Walsh is now fourth, and fifth is Jordan Davis. Then it's Trent Whitney, Dylan Young, Jake Rogers, Jake Cole now back in ninth, and Adam Chambers continues to be in the top 10. But one driver who got back on the tail end of the lead lap after getting around the leaders was Aaron Williams Jr. in the 24, third in points. He's going to restart in 20th place.
And that is a very good sign for that 24. Just don't give up. I mean, he's been in a couple of incidents here today, and hey, he's back on the lead lap. Maybe he can do something about it.
Another driver.
There's a lot of drivers that we really haven't talked about today that are in like the top 10 right now. So
you're right. And another driver that actually did what Aaron Williams Jr. did, got himself back on the lead lap. Cole Daly, he's fourth in points too. So both those drivers may be back in it for the win.
He could be here in the late stage. We go back to the green.
And we still got more lap cars there, but the Charles Jackson machine is damaged, so maybe we have cleared ourselves of those drivers who were trapped a lap down that were the up-to-speed cars, perhaps, as George Roque is now going to have a pretty good advantage coming off turn 4.
I guess those tires are kicking in now, especially here in the late stages of this race.
Dylan Poteet still got to work his way through traffic. He's got Eric Burton right behind him for that spot, but he's got the lap car from Amelia Maverick to his inside.
Uh-oh, look out.
That's not good. Oh, one car's on the apron, and Sosnowski's gotten turned.
That's what I kind of thought.
Dylan Young.
Got a mess there. I think that is turn 3.
That is turn 3. You're
turn
right.
4. Yes.
Jake Cole, or not Jake Cole, I'm sorry, Jake Rogers, Dylan Young, Jordan Davis. That's a number of drivers who were inside the top 10 for that restart, and we've seen that happen all weekend long.
Just cannot learn their lessons this weekend. And here, I mean, we all know it's a new track, but still.
I think Jordan Davis restarted this race in the 5th position. And we got more drivers making some pit stops. And wait a minute, Danica Shirley's continued after she got flipped over.
Well, that's some pretty strong parts in that 88 team. If they're able to keep going after an incident she had.
I guess so. Wow. Dylan Poteet, Eric Burton, and George Roque, the top
more
3.
Pit stops.
They were on pit road, and the leader...
I think the 55. Did the 55 pit again, or did he stay out?
55 pitted is Tim Walsh is going to be the leader.
Okay, I don't know why George Roque pitted again, but I guess this fuel cell wasn't very full, I guess.
Yeah, the top 3 came down pit road. George Roque, Dylan Poteet, and Eric Burton. Whitney came down pit road, so did Jake Cole, and the points leader Adam Chambers also made a pit stop under that caution.
Yep, it's just going to be a wild last few laps here. I don't really know what's going to happen here, so we're just going to have to buckle up and hang on for the wild ride.
Let's take a look at a replay of what put us under the caution once again. This time it was Kyle Sosnowski getting turned around in turn 3. Now let's look at what happened to Kyle Sosnowski, and I think this started even coming off of turn 2. Oh,
Oh, actually, happened with the 42 of Citadino,
he got
I
turned by
think.
Tim Walsh right down to his own teammate Trent Dunham. Interesting.
And
Walsh turning the
Trent
car into
misses
Dunham.
that, actually.
Tim Walsh and Trent Dunham getting. Oh, and then Dunham just came right up into the
Uh-oh.
48.
Oh, wow. What in the heck was that for, Trent? Oh, backs into the wall hard, and then Jordan Davis gets in it.
Look,
Jake Rogers, I think, gets in it too, I think.
Madison
Yeah,
Sieber, Austin
oh,
Ogo,
Dylan Young.
Cole Daly. I think he got through it.
That was just a junkyard there. There's a lot of drivers getting involved in that. Wow.
My goodness, and that one they nearly had saved too. I mean, yes, Tim Walsh got into Citadino and went to Dunham, but those three had it basically saved. But then Dunham just kind of cut the corner right up
Yeah.
into Sosnowski.
Yeah, I think he had a head of steam because, yeah, I think he was trying to avoid that. He just really gained a lot of speed and went into the 48 and took him out and took out several other drivers in the process. So, don't really know what that was for, but
And look at
guess
this.
I can't really tell.
We had Jake Rogers. He had restarted. I think it was in 8th. Dylan Young was in 7th. I think Mary Cole restarted somewhere in the top 10.
Oh, still wrecking the 48 of Sosnowski there, getting hit by Citadino.
I guess Kyle Sosnowski and Earnhardt Ganassi Racing aren't exactly on friendly terms or something. He's gotten taken out by the 1 and now turned by the 42.
That's
Caution
just-
cones died. Both of them died.
Rest in peace, the orange cone.
Orange cones both died.
Wow.
Boy,
EGR apparently not happy at the 48 today.
apparently not. But kind of interesting too. You had Citadina going down to his own teammate, and the car that turned him was Tim Walsh. We know the little rivalry that Trent Dunham and Tim Walsh have had. Don't know if that had anything to do with it, but you never know.
It might have. You never know. They like to fool with each other a lot too. So
So that's the reason the caution comes out. When we go back to green, it'll be less than 10 to go, which means the lap cars will probably, we hope, not come into play. But you never know.
Yay!
Let's get back for the finish.
Yay!
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 34-38, which means we have a total of 5 to go when we go back to green. Tim Walsh is going to be the leader. And look who's lining up right behind him. Not in the lead lap, but Trent Dunham is right behind Tim Walsh.
Well, whoever is in second might want to keep your hopes up because you never know what Trent Dunham and Tim Walsh have up their sleeves here. Trent could spin Tim. They could get into each other. Who knows?
I'll tell you who's running in second. It's Anthony McCrory, and we haven't even spoken about the 61 all day long. And all of a
He
sudden,
just
here
flew
he
out of
is.
nowhere. Yeah. Wow. He has a chance at winning this here today.
If he did, it'd be his 3rd win of the season. George Rope will line up in 3rd, 4th Poteet, 5th will be Whitney, then it's Jake Cole, Eric Byrne, Adam Chambers, Derek Reed now in the top 10, with Matthew Rodriguez in 10th as the green comes back out again.
And this would be a huge day for McCrory if he can get around the 56 car here. But Trent Dunham is in the middle of the two. Uh-oh, there he goes to the inside.
Oh boy. And here's the battle for the lead. Oh, McCurry's diving
there
for
he
pit
goes.
road. McCurry's going to pit road. He's giving up 2nd.
So he was on a different pit sequence, and these guys, oh, look out.
Caution's out. Caution's out again.
Oh, boy, that's huge.
And this race,
Might be over. Or maybe a one-lap shootout, maybe.
I don't
never
know. They hit the stripe with 4 laps to go.
Ooh, this is gonna be iffy here.
It is, and we know also that Tim Walsh did not pit under that caution flag, as did Anthony McCrory. McCrory just made a pit stop, so now Tim Walsh under the caution flag has to try and save some fuel, you have to think.
Absolutely. Fuel is very precious here. You don't want to be coming down pit road like with 2 or 3 laps to go here and give up the win. So you're saving all you can during this caution flag.
And I think the caution may have come out for Trent Dunham in the 1, maybe.
Maybe.
We're gonna have to find out. I saw some smoke coming.
He did just come off of pit road, I think. So I don't know.
I saw a little tiny bit of smoke in the entrance of turn 3. I think that's where our caution's gonna take place at. So we're gonna take a look and see. what put us under the caution for what could possibly be the final time today here at Iowa.
Final time.
Getting ready to take a look at what put us under the caution one more time, and this was right up at the front of the field with a lot of the leaders too.
4 wide. We mentioned it in the Mobile One race. I'm sure you mentioned it in the Truck Series race, but 4 wide is a death sentence here in Iowa, and exactly what brought out the caution right there. So
you go 4 wide here at Iowa and keep it together, then
I'll give you guys a box of cookies for a year. Free
and
will.
right there, Danica, she gets spun around, but
Wow.
she did a good job hanging on to it.
That was a pretty good save right there. Looks like she was dirt racing for a second. I mean, wow.
And had she
That was
lost
crazy.
control,
She would have taken out half the field.
she would have
in that
hit
one
Adam
turn.
Chambers.
Yes, that would just be terrible right there.
You
Great job by everyone else to scramble away and luckily keep it together and not wreck each other there.
And
Eric Burton.
Eric
got
Burton.
spun, nearly flipped. Kind of got on the side there for a second and came back on all 4. That was a weird incident.
And Jake
with,
Cole's going to get clipped by James McLeod too.
Holstetter. Oh, I think he saves it. Maybe.
Yes, maybe right in front of Aaron Williams Jr. And he does.
Wow, 2 good saves on one within 2 turns. That's crazy.
That was. And Eric Burton, he's been running inside the top 5 all day, and he's got quite a bit of damage too. He pounded that outside wall off turn 4.
Thanks to the 98 there of Whitney.
Yep.
Who helped him.
And Whitney's got quite a bit of damage on his hood, so boy, it's going to be interesting to see now with these drivers up here at the front getting involved in these little skirmishes here when they try to go in 4 wide, just exactly who we're going to have up inside the top 5. If indeed we do get back to green, we're going to go back now and see if that will be the case.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we thought we were going to end this race under the green flag, but the lights are still on top of the pace car, and the white flag was just displayed. Tim Walsh just needs to milk it around a couple more turns, and he'll have his 2nd win of the season, his 2nd win in 4 weeks as well.
A lot of momentum riding there for that 56 team, especially heading into next season there, so good job, good performance today, that 56 team, to be able to hold it off there at the end and survive, and he's going to be going to victory lane here today in Iowa.
It's a good way to also end off a resume that he's had here with Michael Waltrip Racing. Past 3 seasons, he's been in the chase twice in the 15, and now he'll be a 2-time winner at least here in the 56, as he'll be leaving Michael Waltrip Racing, heading over to Hendrick Motorsports next season, so a nice way to go out at least here in Season 5.
S&D, way to go out of the bang as he's going to cross the finish line here, and he is going to victory lane today in Iowa.
Big deal here, too, for Michael Waltrip Racing. 1-2 finish. George Roque is going to finish in the 2nd position today.
How about that? MWR representing perfectly here today with a 1-2 finish.
And that's a team, too, that's really been having a difficult time this season. A lot of their drivers not doing that particularly well, so to have something like this at the end of the season's got to make them feel pretty good.
Yes, indeed.
Let's take a look at the rest of the top 10 for today's race. Dylan Poteet. He did a good job getting himself up here to the front in the middle of this race, and he stayed up there for the remainder of the 2nd half, and great run for him. 10th in points. I don't know if this is going to be enough to get him into the title hunt in the final 2 races, but still a nice consistent finish.
Oh yeah, definitely. It could definitely help him gain maybe a couple of spots in the points, but I think that the clock has already struck midnight for that 78 team to try to battle for this championship. So, but we never know. So, stranger things have happened.
They have. As we take a look at the rest of the official top 10, Derek Ree going to finish 4th, Matthew Rodriguez 5th. Those are 2 drivers who actually had to race their way back onto the tail end of the lead lap after they got basically screwed over by pit stops, and they come away with top 5 finishes.
Well, I would say that's a pretty, that's a 180 turnaround there for those 2.
Adam Chambers, he will still be the points leader heading into next week at Talladega. He survived in the Mobile Cup Series race, and he survived here in the Snickers Cup Series race. He gets 6th today.
Adam Chambers definitely minded his P's and Q's, definitely kept out of trouble most of the time, and it shows pays off there with a sixth place finish, and he's going to remain as the points leader here in the Snickers Cup.
Cole Daly, fourth in points. He had to race his way back on the tail of the lead lap. He got seventh. Same deal for Zach Campbell. He was eighth. Jake Rogers ninth. And Eric Burton, we saw him take that huge hit into the turn four wall, nearly flip it over. He still survived to somehow get 10th place.
That was pretty impressive there. I mean, he thought he probably might not get a very good finish out of that, but I guess 10th place is pretty good, especially today. So, yeah.
Take a look and see where the rest of our chasers finished. Mary Cole, she finished in 11th. McLeod finished in 13th. Austin Ogle, 14th. Aaron Williams Jr. finished in the 17th position. Not a bad finish for him, but depending on especially where Chambers finished, he's definitely going to have a little bit of work still to do heading into Talladega and Joltis if he's going to try and run him down for the championship.
Oh yeah, and there's definitely no favorites coming into Talladega. I mean, it's just all over the place as far as who can win and who can be at the right place at the right time, especially at the finish of the race. So, yep.
Absolutely. Barney Ward, he's going to get 18th. Anthony McCurry, he was up there in the second position at that one point. That pit stop he had to make really took away his chances. He'll finish the night, or the day rather, in 19th place. Then the rest of the drivers, one lap down. 25th was John Cittadino. Let's see, where's the rest of our chasers? Then you gotta go a long ways down before you find the drivers who DNF'd. Shawn Henley, 38th. That's really gonna hurt him in the standings. He came in 8 points behind Chambers today, and this is gonna drop him down quite a bit. He's gonna have to make up that ground next week at Talladega.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a stinger there for that 25 team. They're probably going to drop at least 2 positions, considering Cole Daly, he finished in the top 10 there. Williams Jr. had a decent run, so bad day for the hometown boy, Shawn Henley. This will be a sobbing race for him.
And probably the proverbial nail in the coffin for Hayden Klein's chase hopes today, as well as he was 7th in points, and he'll finish 41st today. So as we get closer to the season finale at Zenjoltis, more and more drivers begin to fade from the championship view. And it's going to be interesting to see next week. As you said, it's basically a crapshoot on who's going to be able to win that race. So it's really going to be interesting to see if the points are going to spread out again or if they're going to compile and bunch back up again.
I mean, you just never know. I mean, it's Talladega, and it's just anything can happen.
All right, well, the Viagra 300 is in the books. Tim Walsh becomes a 2-time winner this season for Michael Waltrip Racing. Shawn, well, thank you for joining me.
Oh, once again, it's been a pleasure being up here in the booth with you today. Seth, co-commentating here at the Iowa Speedway. And once more, I hope the Snickers Cup Series will be able to get a race here very soon. And it's been a pleasure. And I hope to be up here again for next season's race, if hopefully there will be one here in Iowa. So,
alright, so hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Also be sure to subscribe to Shawn the Dog 97's channel. Link to his channel is in the description. And we will show you now your official finishing results, overall points, rookie points, and chase points heading into our next to last race weekend of the season at Talladega Super Speedway. Sure to be a wild one. And we will see you next time on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best.
Peace.